I have some interesting, you know what? Why don't I give back to you? Why don't I give you some cool little trivia things that when you run across somebody that's a fan of the original series, you can make them go, wow, really, I didn't know that. Who knows, now what are the call numbers for the Enterprise? A lot of people know that, right? What? NCC 1701. What does NCC stand for? Anyone?
North Carolina, because it was made there?
Close, but no. No, not even close. Just trying to be nice. Naval Construction Contract Number. NCC 1701. Here's another really interesting bit of trivia for you. Does anyone remember the first, okay, I'll tell you something, I'll back up even one step further so you'll enjoy even more trivia. Star Trek was one of the only series that was ever created in which the first pilot episode was rejected by the network and they let them make another. They never did that. You try a pilot, the network doesn't like it, you're sunk. Sorry, nice try. They liked elements of the story so much though, that they actually said to Roddenberry, okay, the Cage was the original pilot with Captain Pike, who went to Talos 4 and Vina and all of that. And they said, okay, we like certain elements of this, so let's rework this and let's try this and add this pointy-eared guy, we like him. Let's make him a little more important. Because if you remember in the Cage, he was just Lieutenant Spock. He was not the first officer. So they let them make another pilot episode called Where No Man Has Gone Before. Pike was out, Kirk was in, Spock's the first officer, tweaks, changes here and there, and that one was the one that sold the series and got them the series. So that's an interesting piece of trivia for you. But beyond that, in the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, Gary Mitchell, one of Kirk's, he was his helmsman, he got hit by this entity that gave him these superpowers, these superhuman powers, and he was getting stronger and stronger. His eyes were glowing silver to the point where he felt like he was becoming a god, and that he was seeing human beings as increasingly puny and then insignificant and there to serve his purposes. So they decided they needed to get rid of him for the safety of everyone. So Kirk and he were friends at the Academy. They were cadets at the Academy together. And so Kirk takes him down to this planet and he plans to maroon him there, but Gary Mitchell, in his increased powers, knows this, and there's this huge fight. And Gary Mitchell he creates a tomb in the ground that he's going to bury Kirk in. And there's a tombstone. And you know what it says on the tombstone? James R. Kirk. Now any fans know that his name is James T. Kirk Tiberius, but they hadn't yet made that decision in that original pilot. And it was James R. Kirk. A lot of people miss that, but that's a cool little piece of trivia there too. Question, who's got a question? Yes?
What was Sulu's original title?
He was in astrophysics. What do you mean title? I mean his original position? He was originally in astrophysics before he became helmsman. He also loves botany. He's also really... And what is his first name?
Oh my. His name is Hikaru Sulu. Maintaining standard orbit, Captain.
Question. Yes, sir.
In a mock time.
Great episode.
What was the chemical that Bones gave to Captain Kirk in order to...
A triox compound. Boom! Squirt! Simulate death. Simulated death. Right? That wasn't a, what was it, what did he say? I'm trying to think of the exact line. That wasn't a something Bones gave me. He slipped me a triox compound. Knocked me out. Simulated death. That was a great episode. You guys remember that? When Spock thought he killed Kirk? Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Live long and prosper, Spock. I shall do neither, for I've killed my captain. And my... the lady that played... the lady who played T'Pau? I don't know, actually. Dane? I heard she was wonderful, too. I heard she was quite an interesting lady. Yes?
What class of starship is the Enterprise?
Constellation class. The Constitution class, excuse me. Constellation is the... Yes. Sorry, how many starships in the fleet? 12. Sorry, I get so jazzed up.
One of the episodes, Star Trek made history. What happened and what episode was it?
I'm sorry, say that again?
On one of the episodes, Star Trek made history. What episode was it?
You must be referring to the interracial kiss between Kirk and Uhura on Plato's Stepchildren, was the name of the episode. Where the inhabitants of Platonius had eaten so much of the native foods that had great large deposits of kyanide in it that they began to develop these telekinetic powers. And they had remember the cute little midget guy, Alexander, that they would boss around and make him do all their work for them? And then Kirk and Spock came down, and McCoy. And what's really interesting about that is that, of course, at the time, you could have interracial couples making out on television or kissing. So they set it within the confines of a story where they were being forced to kiss against their will. And that was one of the brilliant things about Star Trek. They also made another episode that had a very interesting social commentary on the whole black and white issue. Do you remember Let That Be Your Last Battlefield? Was the name of an episode where these two guys beamed on board and they were literally half black on one side and half white on the other. Lokai and Beale were their names. They came from the planet Charon. Remember this? And Beale had been chasing Lokai, and the whole time everyone's like, what's wrong with you guys? You're the same. I mean, look at you. And finally, like most of the way through the episode, Beale looks at me and he goes, the same? What, are you blind? We're not the same. And Kirk's like, white on one side, black on the other. He says, no, I'm white on the right side. Beale is black on the right side. Playing up the lunacy of that kind of prejudice, bigotry. Love it. So good. You know? So many episodes made social commentary on the issues of the day. A lot of people don't realize that now, but back then, the Vietnam War, interracial relationships, all kinds of stuff. Yes?
Okay, I know you know the answer to this. I just want to see you go on a rant about this episode. Yeah. Okay, so what former president did they meet?
Oh my God! The name of the episode was, you know it? The Savage Curtain. I take it you know who I am. I know who you appear to be, and appearances can be most deceiving, Captain Kirk. But not in this case. I am Abraham Lincoln. Awesome episode. Did you guys remember that one? Serac of Vulcan, and then they brought in all these bad guys like Genghis Khan and Kalas, Klingon and stuff, to wage these rock creatures wanted to basically set up a defining battle between good and evil. The people that we would characterize as evil and good, and see which one is stronger. And the whole idea of, good winning over evil always, or mercy, just great. How mercy and tactics all play together. So how they wage war. And the rock creatures were like, well, your methods are all the same, You use arrows and they use arrows. You throw spears and they throw spears. I mean, your tactics are the same, But question.